Return to sender. FedEx CEO Fred Smith challenging the New York Times publisher to a debate. The newspaper saying that the company didn't pay any taxes last year. With us, the former South Carolina Senator, Jim DeMint. Jim, good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Good to see you, Neil.
The gist of it is the company paid no taxes because it could write off with, write-offs that you used to take over 7 years or something to go ahead and expense. Now you can do it in a single year. So it amounted to them not paying taxes in a year. Not that they're dodging the tax man, but he's mad. Fred Smith is mad. Should he be?
Fred Smith and Federal Express, they're a great American success story. One of the greatest stories. We studied them back when I was in college, and all the jobs. Actually, it supports millions of jobs. It expanded our economy because it sped things up. I mean, he's probably one of the largest taxpayers in the country today, from county to state to sales tax, fuel tax, truck tax.
And we got to stress, he was not breaking any law. These are the laws. I mean, if you speed up your
the point to do a hit piece. I'm sorry. Maybe that was right. Okay. Yeah, bleep that out. On an iconic company here in America, there's just no reason for it.
But you know what? People hear that though, right? And I understand it does sound like people say, "Wow, how does this multi-billion-dollar company not pay taxes?" It sticks with people. What's odd is that many in the business department of the New York Times, they know how the tax laws work.
They do.
There's nothing nefarious going on here, so I think that's what raises hackles, right?
Well, of course, I've thrown my hands up on the New York Times. We don't. If you believe what you read in the New York Times, you probably need to get your head examined.
But they cite in this that look, I mean, the law is the law. No laws were broken here, much as when they were going after Trump and trying to understand his taxes and whatever. I guess what I'm wondering is, where does this go? He wants a debate on the issue of taxation. At the same time, Elizabeth Warren and other luminaries in the party are going after a tax system they say favors the wealthy, favors the super powerful and the 1%, and they're campaigning on that.
Yeah, well, the socialists have always done this, create envy and resentment. And while socialist still sounds like an exaggeration to me, that's where this is going. And the New York Times fans the flames on this.
But you worry that unless Republicans have an adequate response to that, they're going to look like the way it has looked. A lot of billionaires who complain about being presented the way they're being presented, but they don't have an alternative argument to say, here are the jobs we generate, here's what we get to charity, here's what it's going to mean to you, that you'll pay more as well down the road. They don't seem to have a coherent response.
No, they don't, and it needs to be simple, and the Republicans tend to
What would yours be? What would your response to this be?
Millions of jobs, following the law, a great American success story. New York Times should lay off.
Now, the way this is resonating with the progressive part, let's say the Democratic Party,
right?
Do you think Republicans should worry about that? That maybe the Democrats are secretly hoping you guys run to the defense of the gazillionaires, run to the defense of those who don't pay taxes. You're quite right to say what you said, but that they love that debate. They want that to be.
Republicans need to make it about the thousands and thousands of people who work for Federal Express and all of these companies, because that's where all our jobs come from. But Republicans do need to make a more persuasive case of why a great economy is good for everyone, and we're seeing that right now.
All right. Do you think the president survives this whole impeachment thing?
Oh, yeah. I suspect this is going to backfire. I mean, this would be thrown out of small claims court anywhere in the country right now. It's all here. There's no evidence. There's no facts. And eventually, I think Americans are going to see this. I mean, sympathy for somebody who lost their job. I mean, we've all had people that have lost jobs. I've lost jobs. And so we feel sorry for them, but it has nothing to do with impeachment.
You're talking about Marie Yovanovitch, our ambassador. Yes. They're the breaks. That happens, right?
None of the Democrat witnesses have firsthand information. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Okay. Very good seeing you again, Senator.
Good to see you,
Thank you very, very much. In the meantime, Kanye West.